Okay, let's move on. Oh my goodness. I think I want to talk to Nathan in Pennsylvania. Nathan wants to talk about a long-term relationship with a theist. I feel like that's important to talk about. Nathan, thank you for calling.
Hey, it's good to be on the show. I've been listening to you guys for quite a while now.
Cheers. I'm glad. Thank you for watching. So, talk to me. What's going on?
So, a little bit of background. I was born and raised in a Christian household, and I started going to a private Christian school in Philly around sixth grade. And I met the girl that is now my girlfriend, has been for quite a while at this point.
Okay.
And yeah, I remember around my high school years, I started questioning things, and it wasn't even necessarily like a rebellious thing. I was like, let me think for myself here. And after a few years, I was at sort of an agnostic point. And when my girlfriend and I got together, it was sort of like she said, I'd like to be on the same page with whoever I end up in the long term, but I really like you, and
Ooh.
you're nice, and so
yeah.
we said that we would kind of cross that bridge when we get to it. And I've come to the point now where I don't really think agnostic cuts it. I just, if something were to really give me a reason to change the way that I feel, I would consider it. I'm open to it, but I just don't foresee that being the case.
How does she feel about it? Or does she know?
She knows. I'm very open and honest with her. It's one of those things. She's incredibly supportive of me, and I can't appreciate her enough for that. It's just troubling, I think, for both of us on a few levels. For her, that means our life here is fine, but of course, our eternal destination is apart from each other. And for me, on my end, when we're looking at further down the line, of course, if my kids were to find their way to religion in and of their own path, I would support them on that. But I don't really want to indoctrinate them. So for her, it's essential that her kids hear the gospel. For me, if they'd like to explore that, I would more than allow them. I would support them in that. But it's like the opposite. So there's certain things like that I think we almost are like, we'll just deal with it later and not really think about it now. But it definitely causes stress from both of us.
Yeah, you're staring down the barrel of later.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, Nathan, I want to hug you. That is such a tough position. I mean, I can just imagine, the tormented feeling of somebody who believes that the person they love is going to go to hell. Right.
Yeah.
And then on your side of it, this feeling of being on the other side of things and just not, that's rough. So I've talked to a good number of people who have, with therapy and a lot of communication, which it sounds like you have managed to have very fulfilling and happy, long relationships. And I've also talked to other people who had to come to a really, really rough conclusion. And I'm not saying this is true for you, but I do want to put this out there that I had to learn way too late in life, at the end of my 20s, which I think is too late, that love isn't enough. It should be. It feels like it should be. But when you have goals and you have a life that you want to live, if you're wanting to live your best life, if you're wanting to search out happiness and want happiness for the person you're with, I think that is one of the most heartbreaking things that people go through. And I hope that you follow where you are going to be happy, whatever that looks like. I wish that I could give you a solid plan moving forward, but really honestly, I think that the best plan you can make is one that you make with her together with a therapist, and one that
Right.
you endeavor to communicate with about regularly, and have some pretty frank sit down and thoughts about it. If I were in your position, I've been very, very similar to that position. For me, the answer was that I wasn't going to be happy. And once I hit that point, I realized that I didn't want to subject the person I was with to be with somebody who wasn't happy either. It wasn't fair to any of us.
Yeah.
But however that happiness looks, bro, I'm not gonna judge you either way. I hope that you guys come to a good place. And I wish I had more for you.
Yeah, I appreciate that, and I think at the end of the day, that is what it is. And we've always emphasized communication and just being honest with each other through good, bad, or ugly. But I think even at times, I'm far from giving up on that, but it does feel like we can't maintain the position we're in forever, even if we have some form of disagreement. Just sort of by and large saying there's an issue, we're going to deal with it down the line, doesn't really work out. And I don't want to, I think it's more upsetting for her, because for me, it's secondhand. I can tell that she's stressed about it, but I don't feel like she's going to go anywhere negative. I just think, that's it when you die, and that's okay with me. But for her, it's obviously much more gruesome and painful. So I need to figure that out one way or another.
Definitely. I wish you all the best in the world. And, if things go any certain way, call back. Let us know how it went. We're rooting for you. Not just me. We're all rooting for you.
Thank you, Eric. I appreciate that. It was great talking with you.
It was good talking to you too. Thank you, Nathan.
Of course.
Oh, shit. I so wish that I could give Nathan a better response. And for people in the live chat who are saying, dumper, you guys, the way Nathan described it, she's actually incredibly supportive of him. It sounds like she's not trying to hold him hostage. It sounds like she's wanting him to explore and live his best life and seek self-actualization. And that's incredibly important. And that is not something that purely belongs to theists or atheists or anyone in between. And when you have that kind of understanding and you want the best for the other person, it's a tough place to be. Gosh, I wish things were easier, but unfortunately they're not. If anybody does find themselves in that spot, and they find out that it doesn't work, hey, just remember that no regrets. Just because things don't last forever doesn't mean that it's not worth it while it's happening. That the happiness that you experience with that person, it doesn't become lessened if it didn't last if it didn't last forever. Those are still great experiences, and you have the right to cherish them. I feel like I'm therapizing myself right now. I need to move on to the next call.